All right, those of y'all who may be tuning in, nothing to be concerned about, but I'm doing a little test. I have some new software that I'm trying out, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see if I can have a little bit more interaction with the comments. The reason I was a little distracted at the last update was I thought my comments were going to come in on my screen as opposed to uh, having to look at my phone, but I just saw Preston's comment. So awesome. Actually, I need to do one quick thing because I apparently have the voice notification turned on. That's going to be very distracting. So let me get rid of that. All right. There we go. All right. All right. So, yay, Preston Hill. It works. All right. And so the other thing I was going to just play around with is I can embed this in my actual stream. Let me see if this works. Yeah, there we go. All right. I think, what does that say? Okay, yeah. So Preston, you're up there. So that's kind of cool. So I can do that when I want to. So, like I said, this is for those of y'all who may just be joining us. Nothing to be alarmed about. It's just I was testing out this software, and I did pull out the radar from northwest of Abilene. Just wanted to kind of test some of these features out because, like I said, my goal is to most of the time when I come on live, I it's going to be an informational video, I should say, kind of give you the latest on what's going on, and that's really more in the spirit of it being the severe weather being right upon us. That's obviously not the case now, even though if you look at the radar, it's not. This is not anywhere near DFW. As a matter of fact, let me scan out here so people don't think it is, and just to give you an idea where we're at. There's Abilene. And while we're here, again, this, as I talked about before, this line is starting to get longer, and you can see a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that are starting to be issued for this line. And put this in motion, you can see that the line is starting to get more organized. And if you look on the far right of your screen, you can, as a matter of fact, I think I can draw on this. So there's Fort Worth right there. So, it's as a crow flies, it's still a good 4 hours away, 3 to 4 hours. I guess it depends on how fast how fast crow is flying. We're well away, or a good ways away from that. That kind of goes along with the time frame I was talking about earlier. It definitely would be after midnight before we saw anything, and I would guess that it would probably be well after midnight before we saw something. All right, so let's stop this for a second. And so I think the things that we can start to look out for, and we're already starting to see this, is starting to see that bow right there. And so that's, not very pronounced, but, it's starting to get pronounced. And so that's where, we're going to have to watch for the strongest wind gust when that does get to the point where it's gets closer to Dallas Fort Worth. So we're already starting to see that. That's not totally shocking because we figured we would, but I was hoping that it would take a little while to get started, but apparently it's gonna get going pretty quick. All right, so let's just look around the rest of the country here and see what we got. So we do have a tornado warning. So, well, it's expired. So let's go to that real quick and pull out on this a little bit. So this is up in Oklahoma. You can tell it's west Oklahoma City, but that just expired. So I guess that tornado threat's not very active at the moment. But if you expand the line here, let's not quite go that far. So as you can imagine, the dry line is right there. So anything over here, you're good. Anything over here, that didn't work. Anything over here, you got to keep watching out for. And I would imagine if we put this in motion, we would see this kind of start to take shape a little better as we move along the evening. All right, let's see. There we go. So again, didn't take very long for those storms to go from individual storms to in the line. Now, as you can tell, the line's not even connected yet. But I think as time goes on, especially when the line gets into this area right here, I think you'll see the line be solid, and I certainly think the line will be solid by the time it gets somewhere like that. All right, so I don't see. Let's stop this for a second. All right, so what? See, we're looking at the Wichita Falls radar, so let's switch over to the Abilene radar, or specifically the Dyess Air Force Base radar, and so you can see some hail contours right here. So this definitely has produced some hail. Let's see what we got here as far as sizes. Cool thing about this particular piece of radar software is you can go in there and inspect what we got. And so we are going to do that. No, Jeff, you got to use the right tool. Here we go. So yeah, 1.25 inch diameter. So that's an inch is severe. So anything above 1 inch in diameter is considered severe. So nothing too crazy, but if you look really closely here, you definitely see a hail core there. And just for grins, let's see. Well, I think I hit the wrong. I think we're good. Okay. Let's check out a different filter here, or layer, I should say. Let's look at the velocity. Is not going to tell us a whole lot, but you can see there's definitely some stronger winds. Yeah, that's something too, that in these initial storms, you might see a little bit of rotation right there, but nothing too strong at the moment. That's something we definitely have to watch. Anyway, and so that is something that we definitely are going to keep an eye on. But like I said, the main threat for us would be spin up tornadoes as opposed to tornadoes initially like they are going to see out in West Texas. All right, we'll go back to reflectivity here and see what we got. And so if we kind of put an info tag on this warning, let's see. Yeah, 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and half-dollar size hail. So that's something that they're definitely looking at there. Okay, so like I said, not a whole lot to talk about at the moment, but just wanted to kind of test this feature out. And thank you, Preston, for commenting. I appreciate that. I am assuming that it's still working. So if someone would do me a favor and just type in a hi or a test or something in the comments, then I will see if this chat feature is working for me so I can do more interaction in the future. So I know I don't have a ton of people watching at the moment, but if you are, please type in a comments real quick and I'll see if this is going to work or if I'm going to have to do more tweaking. Well, if you have typed in a comment, I don't see it, so I'm going to check another source here real quick. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks, Jess. I appreciate it. Yay, it's working. And that's the other thing too that I don't know about the time delay. I know there is a little bit of one. So, well, there's a timestamp on like when Jessica typed in, it says 8:33. Of course, I don't know if you really typed it in immediately or if it was a little bit of delay. I know there's a little bit of delay, but supposedly I've gotten a feature to where it kind of cuts back on that delay a little bit as I had before. So, nonetheless, just trying to figure out if that's chat features working. So that looks like it is. So I appreciate you, Preston. I appreciate you, Jessica, for doing that. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and sign off unless I see a comment or two, because like I said, there's not a whole lot to talk about right now. And before I sign off, let's just expand back out here just a second here. And my radar will update here. There we go. Let's move this over. And I'm going to switch it over to the DFW sites. And yeah, like I said, it's obviously still far away. Nothing to be worried about down here with these little showers. Just shows the amount of moisture. But that, like I said, I don't really expect, because we do still have a strong capping inversion overhead. So, excuse me. That's nothing to be terribly concerned about because we have the capping inversion. But if the capping inversion were to bust or break, if you will, then that's something that could pop up pretty quick, but not really too concerned about that. But if it did, I would definitely come back on and watch. Thank you, Jessica, for your other comment. I appreciate that. And you're welcome. And with that, I will sign off. Thank you for those of you who came on to help me test this. I appreciate that very much. And my thought is, before I head off to bed, which is usually around 11 o'clock for me, we'll see how the weather looks and may just give an update at that point on what we can expect during overnight hours. But in the meantime, enjoy your evening. And as always, I'm watching with her so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great rest of your evening and may see you about 10:45-ish if I don't fall asleep before that.